use elbows, and one of the things that makes Darrion Caldwell so good is his ground control with the use of elbows, and he says that's going to be the difference here tonight.
The marathon that is a martial artist's journey continues. We have two of the world's best kicking off one of the best cards in Bellator MMA history. It is a championship rematch as we go to the tail of the tape.
Beautiful records by both guys, but look at that, it's double the wins with Kyoji Horaguchi. Look at the difference in size, 5'10" to 5'5". Look at that reach advantage, Moro. That is a huge factor in this fight.
With the official introductions, he is the international voice of Bellator MMA. He is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on DAZN. Tonight, from Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, we begin with five-minute rounds for the Bellator Bantamweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Executive Director Kim Sumler. And now, fighting first out of the blue corner, at 5'5", weighing in 134.4 pounds in his Bellator debut, the rising bantamweight champion brings a professional record of 27 wins, just 2 losses from Takasaki, Gunma, Japan. Introducing the challenger, Kyoji Horaguchi. Across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 134.6 pounds. In his second title defense, he stands with 13 professional victories, 2 defeats. Fighting out of San Diego, California, he hails from Broadway, New Jersey, presenting the defending Bellator Bantamweight World Champion, Darrion the referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson.
Gentlemen, we know the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
Referee is Todd Anderson. We're about to embark on the first of a possible 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Bantamweight title. Rising Bantamweight champion Kyoji Horaguchi drew first blood against Darrion Caldwell. The bell and round 1. Caldwell in the red gloves, Horaguchi in the blue gloves. Aside from the obvious, the biggest difference, fighting in a cage from a ring.
Well, it is, but Horaguchi...
What is the biggest difference?
Well, the biggest difference is, look, when you're in that ring, there's resets. There's the use of the ropes and getting yourself away from your opponent where you can't do that in the cage. There's all kinds of things that Horaguchi had the skill level of utilizing that Darrion just didn't understand. This is more Darrion's world, but it's also Horaguchi's world, and he will tell you he would rather fight MMA in a cage than he would in a ring.
Caldwell became Bellator Bantamweight champion in October of 2017, defeating Eduardo Dantes at Bellator 184, and Caldwell utilizing his wrestling early, looking for the takedown on Horaguchi, and has his back. Caldwell, the bigger of the 2 champions.
By far the bigger man, but you know, when you look at that, there's advantages and disadvantages. That was a huge elbow, and that's what we were talking about, the difference for Darrion Caldwell. He utilizes big elbows, and he thinks it's going to be a big difference in this fight. The question is, does he lose too much weight? Is he going to start to get tired? Because the longer the fight goes, the more I think it goes towards Kyoji Horaguchi.
6 of Caldwell's 7 victories by KO or submission have come in the opening round, and he's immediately on top of Horaguchi. How is Horaguchi off his back, John?
He's very good off of his back. He's got a very effective guard. You can see right now, even with his positioning, he's keeping Darrion at a position where he's off center, keeping his back against the cage and utilizing the cage to get back to his feet.
Horaguchi 27-2, 14 knockouts, 3 submission victories. Caldwell 13-2 with 2 knockouts and 5 subs. So a huge edge in experience for Horaguchi.
Darrion has laced that arm behind the back, and that's why he's opening up with those big right elbows. Look at him. see he's got Horaguchi's left arm trapped behind his back.
Caldwell began wrestling at the age of 9, was a 3-time New Jersey State wrestling champion. He wrestled D1 in college for North Carolina State and was the 2009 NCAA Division I national champion.
A big difference in the opening 2.5 minutes of this fight compared to their first fight, and it's all due to those elbow strikes.
Horaguchi has 9 victories via first-round knockout or submission. Started karate at 5 years of age as a Shotokan karate black belt. At the age of 16, saw Pride Fighting Championships event and became addicted to mixed martial arts. Trained under his hero, the late great Norifumi Kid Yamamoto. Made his pro debut in May of 2010, under 2 minutes left. And Caldwell keeping Horaguchi pinned to the mat.
Keeping him pinned there, but he's accepting a position of clasping his hands behind Horaguchi's back while Horaguchi lands these shots. That's not smart by Darian. He needs to think about, I can pull his hips out and attack. I've got to pass that guard.
Coming up on the final 90 seconds of our opening round, Caldwell utilizing his wrestling early to take down Horaguchi, but is unable to maximize this position. And you're right, Horaguchi's the one who's imposing the offense with those strikes as Caldwell remains in a position. And what do you think Caldwell's attempting to do here, John?
He's attempting to control the position and put Horaguchi where he wants.
Oh, there's another one that landed for Caldwell.
And look at here, the big difference in this round, Horaguchi is landing these little strikes, but they're doing no damage. But you're looking at the strikes that Caldwell is landing. They have been big, heavy strikes.
Under a minute left in the first frame. Half guard being employed by Horaguchi. Caldwell looking again to try to find an opening, try to find a way to...
Stop!
Referee is...
What we have is Horaguchi is holding on to Caldwell's glove. Caldwell's holding on to Horaguchi's glove.
Ready, turn, fight!
And that's why he's out of the position. He was holding on to Horaguchi's glove. Horaguchi was trying to tell the referee, Todd Anderson sees it, and that's why he breaks him and sets him and starts him on the feet.
15 seconds left in the first round, and Caldwell and Horaguchi renewing hostilities here in Bellator MMA, and a solid start for Caldwell.
But they were in there, okay?
And John, at the end of the first round, the unofficial scorecard and why?
Unofficial scorecard, Darian Caldwell wins that round 10-9 because he's the guy that landed the biggest, heaviest, most damaging strikes, and that is what was the difference in the round. Take a look at the elbows that he lands here. That's a huge right elbow, and you can see that arm laced behind his back. Another one. Those are open strikes.
Number 2, 2 great camps being represented in this championship fight. Caldwell fighting on a team alliance, head trainer Eric Del Fierro. And while Horaguchi makes his home in Japan, he trains with American top team in Coconut Creek, Florida, as head trainer, former WEC champion Mike Brown.
You know, an outstanding fighter in his day. He was the first guy to really, he took the crown from Uriah Faber. But what a trainer he has become. Mike Brown is phenomenal as a trainer and says that Kyoji Horaguchi is the hardest training guy he has ever seen.
And what about what Eric Del Fierro has been able to accomplish at Team Alliance?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric Del Fierro, with the help of Dominic Cruz, has created a super camp down in San Diego where those guys are just a bunch of killers.
Southpaw Caldwell fishing for a head kick. Horaguchi darting in and out of range. Then Caldwell 5'10", Horaguchi 5'5". There's a head kick, but partially blocked by Horaguchi.
And you see Horaguchi pressing the issue. He's not backing away. He's looking for that opportunity to get inside to land those shots because he has to get past that range of Darian.
We invite you to become a part of the conversation on social media. Hashtag Bellator222. What a way to kick things off with this Bellator Bantamweight Championship fight. Caldwell looking not only to defend the title, but even the series with Horaguchi. And he has already mentioned, when he wins tonight, he'll go to Japan and then vie for the Rising Bantamweight title, and they could complete their trilogy. So, obviously, confidence oozing out of both fighters heading into this rematch as Caldwell shoots the single.
Nice clean shot. Runs it down, but you look at exactly what Horaguchi did. He got himself all the way to the cage where he can get his back against it to get himself back up.
We saw this in the opening round. You talked a little bit about what Caldwell could do looking at it from this position. He wasn't able to improve his position. How can he do so here?
Well, he did improve his position eventually. He got to that half guard position, which is an improvement from being where he's got basically a guard position here.
But he's just sitting there again on top, putting his weight on Horaguchi.
I need to stop being just the wrestler at this moment and trying to pull my opponent's hips away from the cage and get him down on his back, because it hasn't worked. So let me break free and strike and land big shots. They're going to damage and break my opponent down.
Every fighter's mental makeup is different, but we've seen it even on the undercard. Caldwell coming off a big loss in Japan. Does that speak to maybe being a little more conservative, sticking to his bread and butter early, just imposing his will and skill and just making sure that he executes his game plan at any step?
Absolutely. Look, no doubt, when you lose a fight, you got to go back and say, okay, where did I make my mistakes? And he made a lot in that first fight. And a big part of it was his inability to keep Horaguchi on the ground. And that's what he's trying to change right here.
And now, Caldwell again, Horaguchi against the fence, but Horaguchi dropping those left hands. Minute and a half left in the second round.
Darian needs to stop just grabbing the weights. If he's going to grab and put his hands and get that gable grip, then he needs to start to lift back, bringing Horaguchi's hips off of the cage and start to put him flat on his back.
Caldwell talking to us about what ex-UFC champion Dominic Cruz has meant to him, and especially you look at angles and footwork. I mean, Cruz changed the game.
Oh, no doubt about it. You can see a lot of times Darian, when he's very confident, he starts to bring a footwork out that mimics Dominic Cruz very much. You'll notice tonight, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that because he's always unsure of where Horaguchi is going to come from. See, right now, this is the difference of Horaguchi is actually fighting. Darian Caldwell is trying to control, and the fight should always be won by the guy trying to fight, not the guy trying to control.
Referee brings them back up to their feet. Caldwell telling us that the rematch would go one way, him taking down Horaguchi and punishing him. He's taken Horaguchi down. He hasn't really punished him yet.
No, he did in the first round with some big shots, but in this second round, he has done nothing to diminish Horaguchi, and Horaguchi's the guy landing the strikes.
Look, Tom, I've set up the Amazon Echo. You can ask it to play music, check the weather. Battery.
Ready, fight!
Well, round number 3, talk about the adjustments that Horaguchi has to make as we look at your unofficial scorecard, John. Talk about it through 2 rounds.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind Caldwell won that first round, landed the bigger shots. But in the second round, he didn't land any big shots. In fact, he just wrestled, he got position, but he was accepting small strikes. And look at, when you did nothing with your submission game, nothing to do anything to finish the fight against Horaguchi, he wins the round.
Talk about potential adjustments for each fighter as Horaguchi goes to the air with that knee strike. Now the small north side position. Horaguchi looking for the guillotine again, just like in Japan.
What Darian needs to do right now is control that hand, take his time. In my opinion, he's the guy that can win all the scrambles when it comes to the wrestling game. He can take chances, but the problem is, and this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the fight, I think Darian's starting to get tired. It is that weight cut. That he is losing so much weight in that weight cut that he's losing his ability to maintain that energy to keep the pace.
Looking for that elevator sweep with the butterfly hooks. Caldwell, who is on the bottom now. Horaguchi looking to pass guard, and Horaguchi has the 3 submission wins, a rear naked choke, an arm triangle, and the guillotine choke victory against Caldwell. Now in half guard, open half guard, could try to slip to side control, but now electing to just put the pressure on Caldwell.
And you're seeing Horaguchi, what he's trying to do is he's trying to create pressure with his hips to free his leg to get himself out of the half guard, more to a side control position. But at least he's starting to open up and starting to utilize some strikes. That's what you want to see from the guy on top.
Caldwell telling us that he expected Horaguchi to be stronger, faster, and more confident in this, the rematch, but he told us that he's going to shut his body off. He knows it's the biggest fight of his career. His belt is on the line. And actually, Caldwell's last fight here in Bellator took place at featherweight. To your point, John, potentially moving up. He stopped Noed Lahat via second-round TKO. He is 7-0 at 145.
Well, I want you to think about it more. Back in 2009, when he won the NCAA championships, he won that at 149 pounds. He is fighting at 135 now. That's a huge drop in weight.
Midway point of the round and the fight, with Horaguchi in top position, the open guard of Caldwell.
And this is the difference in what you're seeing is when Horaguchi was put on his back by Caldwell, he gets himself to the cage and he does not accept the position. He continues to work his way out of it, and you're not seeing that from Caldwell.
Horaguchi and Caldwell back on the feet. The southpaw swings wildly. The sprawl by Horaguchi. And immediately Horaguchi back in the half butterfly guard of Caldwell.
I'm sorry, that right there just tells you Darren Caldwell is tired. He was on his knees, able to come up. He did not. He just fell to his back. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy off of his back. This is not the area where he wins fights.
Second rematch in Caldwell's career. Lost to Joe Tamanglo. Was able to avenge that loss. Here tonight looking to avenge the setback in the land of the rising sun with 90 seconds left here in round 3. And series of punches by Horaguchi showing the referee that he's staying busy.
Nice job by Horaguchi.
Trying to jump his back. And those left hands delivered by Horaguchi. Caldwell back up to his feet. A knee on the exit. And a front kick from Caldwell. A minute left in the third round. Another knee. Left, and now they exchange punches. Left uppercut. Sprawl by Horaguchi. But will Caldwell be able to persevere? It's Horaguchi here implementing his offense.
Well, right now, Caldwell's in a good position to put him flat on his back
And
when he
he
got
does.
the fence. Now posture and start raining down damaging strikes. But there goes Horaguchi again.
Gamble by Horaguchi.
Accepting the position, Paul.
Caldwell with 5 submission wins, 3 guillotine chokes, 2 rear naked chokes, and now under 30 seconds left, Horaguchi with his back against the fence in a seated position. And you know, expending a lot of energy, both of them. With Caldwell imposing his will on top and Horaguchi trying to keep the bigger man off him, or at least trying to stymie his offensive attempts. We are through 3 rounds in this rematch for the Bellator Bantamweight title.
Not all surprises are good ones, are they? Like finding a fly in your suit? Or your chair giving one? Or having your broadband price put up during your contract. Infuriating. PlusNet care about their customers. That's why if you take out a new fixed price contract with them, they won't raise prices during it. No nasty surprises. No price rises on any new fixed price broadband contracts. PlusNet will do you proud.
Raymond Reddington, fugitive to the United States, has been...
Caldwell said, tired.
Caldwell just trying to keep Horaguchi. Horaguchi throwing some left hands, continues to pepper the side of Caldwell's head.
Yeah, definitely, it's doing no damage to Caldwell, but it's adding up. It's just a volume.
Cumulative.
And when you look at, there's nothing else that comes up in the striking area, the judge is going to go, well, there you go. He landed all those shots, even though they weren't real hard. They landed.
By the way, with a win by submission, Caldwell would be tied at first for most submissions with 6. Joining Horaguchi, Marcin Held, Michael Chandler, Alimale McFarland, who's joining us at the fight desk, and Neiman Gracie, who will challenge Roy McDonald for the Bellator Welterweight Championship in the main event in the semifinals of the Welterweight World Grand Prix. And, well, the fight is receiving Bronx cheers, Mr. McCarthy.
Well, there was a really slick elbow that Caldwell just hit Horaguchi with, but Caldwell's making a huge mistake in making this a wrestling match and thinking he can win this fight by just out-controlling his opponent. That's going to get him a big L.
And again, Horaguchi feeding steady stream. You're right, just peppering them. No damage whatsoever, but the accumulation, he's the one who's busy.
Yeah, because you look at what is Darian doing right now is he's wrestling.
Spending energy.
He's on top, but he's not doing anything towards working towards the submission, working towards doing damaging strikes. Right now, all the judges are seeing a guy is sitting there and getting hit.
It's not effective energy, in a way. I mean, so what is the plan here? What should he be doing in Caldwell in this position?
Look at him, my opinion, his corner should have been telling him, if you put him against the cage and his back goes up there, unlock your hands and just start to unload on him. If he gets up in the position, no problem.
Agree with the stand-up.
Absolutely.
Should he have done it sooner?
Yes, he should have.
Right hand connects for Horaguchi. Kick by Caldwell blocked.
And this right now, when you have a guy like Horaguchi who's very fast and elusive, and you're tired and you have to move, this is where you start to go into that deficit if you're Caldwell.
First kick to the chest by Caldwell. Looking for a spinning move. Kick by Horaguchi, just glancing off the rib cage of Caldwell. Final minute of the fourth.
You can just see in the movement. Caldwell is starting just the dive of that thing right there.
And Horaguchi avoids it.
Horaguchi's your fighter that's coming forward. He's looking to do things in the fight to finish the fight. And right now, I'm looking at Caldwell saying he doesn't look like he's happy where he's at. Took a big shot right there.
Horaguchi riding a wave of momentum with 12 consecutive victories coming into his Bellator MMA debut. Turning the tables on Caldwell, looking to change levels. Thwarted by Caldwell. Final 10 seconds of the penultimate round. We are headed to the 5th and final round of this Bellator Bantamweight Championship bout.
Up we go, boys. Easy, easy, easy. Up. There we go. Untangled, good.
How bad we want it, Tad? How bad we... Let's go. Wake up.
Motivation from Dominic Cruz. How bad does Darian?
They're cleaning up. Let's go, pick up the pace. What?
5th and final round here at Madison Square Garden, kicking off Bellator 222.
Ready, wait.
29-year-old Kyoji Horaguchi in his 30th professional fight against the 31-year-old Bellator Bantamweight champion Darian the Wolf Caldwell in his 60th pro bout. And round 5, where you have to pull out all the stops, right, Big John?
No doubt about it. Look at, your title is on the line, and if you think that you've got this, you could definitely be wrong. You need to go for that finish. I Right now, I have Horaguchi winning this round, and I have it to where Darian Caldwell needs to finish Horaguchi or have a big round to get it back.
Horaguchi leading it with the left, and Caldwell again. And we have seen this movie a few times tonight.
Well, the one thing is Caldwell is in his corner, so if you're in his corner, you need to tell him, let go with your hands and start blasting it.
And the audience at MSG doesn't like reruns.
You cannot sit here trying to hold on to his legs and think that you're going to win this fight by being the guy that's sitting on top. This is not a good position for Darian. He needs to open up to do damage.
There's always the conversation about the scoring of takedowns and how they should be scored. John, elucidate a little bit on that.
Well, you can look at that takedown. That really wasn't a takedown. It was an actual takedown by Horaguchi that ended up in a scramble that he overshot, and Darian gets position. But Caldwell, from his position, when you have a takedown that is just almost a given, the judge is going to wait and see what you do with that position, and if you do nothing offensive with it, he's not going to give you much credit for it.
Horaguchi tattooing the rib cage with those right hands. Both of Caldwell's losses have come via guillotine choke, and Horaguchi maneuvering for another attempt.
And right now, if you're looking at it, Morrow, would you say that a takedown in this position for Darian is doing him good or doing him bad?
Static.
Bingo. So it's not working to your advantage to get that takedown and just keep yourself in this position.
Horaguchi trying to cinch that guillotine choke in.
And again, he's searching for a submission. What is he trying to do? He's trying to finish the fight.
Yes, incremental position, trying hand grappling now. Still plenty of time left in the round. Over 2 minutes left in this championship fight. Dominic Cruz imploring Caldwell to elevate his legs under your chest.
And he didn't do it. Now his chin's in a bad position with Horaguchi. Please be careful. Don't allow your chin to stick down. Keep your head that up, pressed against it.
The coaches are giving him the right advice. He's not listening.
Exactly, and that's, sometimes when you are in that position, do you listen to your coaches? Are you able to take that information and put it into action? And right now we're seeing that Caldwell is not able to do that.
They're talking transitions, John.
Well, they're also talking an arm triangle. They're talking a lot of things, but all of them are something that does something to try to end the fight.
And Horaguchi looking to get back to his feet. A knee from Caldwell. Again, looking for the takedown. Secures it. But will he try to improve position? Will he try to finish Horaguchi with less than a minute left? It's Horaguchi again, implementing the offensive strikes.
You see Darian burying his head under the leg to try to keep that from happening.
And that could result in
a triangle.
potential trouble.
Darian is so close to being put into a triangle right now. Now there's nothing.
Final 30 seconds of our opening contest here at Bellator 222. A cut under the right eye of Horaguchi, trickling blood.
That was from that one elbow that he brought up.
And it did damage.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
So after their first meeting at the Saitama Super Arena New Year's Eve in Japan, they go the distance in the rematch for the Bellator Bantamweight title, much to the chagrin of the audience at MSG. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in this world title fight will go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, David Torelli, scores the fight 48-47, while judges Derek Cleary and Douglas Crosby both see the fight the same, 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Bantamweight champion,
Kyoji Horaguchi, a die-hard fisherman, came fishing in America for the Bellator Bantamweight Championship, and he will return to Japan as not only Rizin Fighting Federation Bantamweight champ, but he is now also the Bellator MMA 135-pound champion, his second straight win over Darion Caldwell. Let's go up to the cage and Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the new Bellator Bantamweight champion and Rizin Bantamweight champion, Kyoji Horaguchi. That was an impressive performance in this cage by you taking a wrestler who was trying to put you on the ground and not allowing that to happen.
ずっと固めようとしていた相手に素晴らしい、戦いを見せました。すいません、なんかつまんない試合で申し訳ないです。I do apologize for being a lack of action fight.
Did you feel as the fight was going on that you were getting stronger and he was getting tired?
戦いが進むにつれ、相手が失速して自分の方が強くなっているのを感じましたか？そうですね、もう最初からそのプランで、最初はあまり飛ばさずに自分から攻めないで、最終ラウンドで勝負仕掛けようと思ってたんですけど。Yeah, that was the plan. The plan was to conserve energy at the beginning and then finish strong.
I would tell you that was a very good fight against a great champion. Congratulations on your new title, ladies and gentlemen. The Bellator Bantamweight champion, Kyoji Horaguchi.
And Horaguchi definitely has a claim to being the best bantamweight on the planet, as now he's a champion in Japan and here in America. And there is Saki Kabara-san posing with his champion in two major promotions. 13 straight wins for Kyoji Horaguchi. And as we go back to Jay and the gang, Horaguchi will take another belt back to Japan.